What's up, guys? Back again with another video here, and today we're going to be talking about this 1998 Lasko 16-inch desk fan. Picked this up for $10 off the LetGo mobile app. It's an app where you post stuff and you sell it. It's basically like Facebook Marketplace or like eBay, but there's no bidding. And there's several reasons why I got this fan. One of the reasons is because it's kind of childhood. I remember seeing these in Ace Hardware, which is a hardware store, mainly down south, down in these southern parts of the country. And there's about 10 or 15 of these 12-inch and 16-inch late 90s Lasko fans in that store. Because I'm guessing they sold them, so they just ripped them out of the box and used them and just didn't make stock of it. Anyway, so when I saw this on the ad, I had to get it. I mean, it was for $10, it was worth it because it was pretty filthy in the ad. I mean, the pictures, it was scuffed up, scratched up. You can tell there's a lot of UV exposure in the badge. The Lasko logo's scratched up. There's dents down here. Focus would cooperate, be nice. There's scuffs down here, there's a dent in here. There's fire damage right there to the metal only, in the paint. The springs and the buttons, they're iffy, they're bent, so I need to probably take that apart and fix that up. There's marker right there. It's kind of rough shape, but it's still a smooth, solid runner, because these things were kind of built as tanks back in the day before they went super cheap. So this, I guess you could say this style was basically the style they did right before they switched to plastic. So like, I think 1998 or 1999 was the final year of the all metal cages, because you could see that all the plastic on the blade and everything is starting to appear more than metal. So yeah, like, fan after this would have a back plastic grill, then front metal grill, which I've seen those everywhere. I've even seen them in hospitals. But same blade and same badges. Then in the early 2000s, they'd end up switching to entirely plastic. But this style is pretty cool because it kind of samples all of Lasko's parts that they used in the 90s, because they used this blade style all throughout the early 90s into the early 2000s. They used this kind of sweep design on the badge for so long. Then they had the Lasko logo called the flag logo, I guess you could say, because it has that American flag that kind of goes through the K into the O. I have a lot of fans that have that logo. Anyway, plus I say it samples it because it also samples the base they used for so long. But this is the uncommon base, so I think they ended this base in 1999 when they switched to that plastic base with the knob right here. Had the culvert kind of dug out, and it has the knob right here instead of the buttons. So it's cool. This fan kind of gives you a taste of like what their options were in the 90s. So it's really cool. And then it has your typical Lasko clips, but on these, it's interesting because they have a clip that clips onto one of the bars. So whenever you like want to clean it, you put your screwdriver through there, you prop this out, and it just kind of hangs there so you don't lose them. Because those things, excuse my French, but those are a bitch to find. And they're not cheap when you find them on eBay. So it's always good to try to like save as much as you can. Luckily enough, I have a couple spares that I use on my other older Laskos, but yeah. I guess I'll start showing you around. You already saw the side of it, so here's the back. Then you can see some of the exposure, UV exposure, because that's very rough to the touch, and it's cracking. And then you have your two adjustment knobs. If y'all don't know, this was in like the golden era of Lasko having the desk fans you could put on the wall. So there's instructions on the bottom of the base that tells you how to put it on the wall, and you can tilt the head, and you can tilt this entire fan head about 90 degrees back, and it'll oscillate in that position on the wall. So it's pretty cool. I actually might put this on my wall. I don't know yet if I have the room. What is there else to show? Oscillator works great, because like I said, these things are kind of tanks. And I guess that's really it. It's a model 16-1, or it's a model 2016, because I know the later ones into the early 2000s, they were all modeled under 2016. But I have the tag right here because it came off. It says type 16-1, and I don't know if it's the actual correct model number, but it's the closest thing I can get. Alright, I mean, this is really nothing left to show. Oh, yes. The cord on this thing really kind of blows my mind. If I can unplug it here with one hand. Cord is grounded, which is interesting for a 16-inch desk fan. Because like usually you see these with like certain large floor fans or box fans, but for a 16-inch fan, this is kind of iffy. Now let's see if I can plug it in with one hand. There we go. Guess without further ado, we'll fire it up. So get it some room so we can oscillate. So it's off, and here's low. All in all, it's a really good air mover, but that heat exposure, it warped the blade, so you're going to hear a lot of wobble and vibration. Let's see, that's all it is. Medium. Oscillator is a tiny bit sticky, but that's easy to fix. I'll let it go by one more time. And high. I hit low by accident. Bearings on it are surprisingly pretty, well, they're fairly decent. I mean, it's still a good spin down, but it could be better for a 16-inch, because I know my other 16 inches, like, they have a lot better bearings. But for an almost 2000s desk fan, it checks out. So, and you can see that wobble in the blade makes it go, it makes it reverse rotation sometimes. It's almost like a counterweight. Alright, I guess that's it. Just like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching. See you in the next one.